Port Charles thought the nightmare was over when Marco's body was discovered. Friends mourned. Enemies stayed silent. The police believed they had a tragic case with a simple explanation. But one document hidden inside the medical examiner's office was about to destroy everything everyone thought they knew. And the first clue was impossible to ignore. The autopsy began like any other. Doctors expected routine findings. Yet within minutes, the lead examiner reportedly noticed details that didn't match the official story. Injuries appeared inconsistent. Timelines stopped making sense. Questions started piling up. Was Marco really the victim everyone believed he was? The answer was more disturbing than anyone imagined. As whispers spread through the hospital corridors, a confidential report landed on the wrong desk. One glance at the findings sent shockwaves through multiple departments. Suddenly, people who hadn't spoken in months were making urgent phone calls. What exactly had the examiner uncovered? That's when panic quietly began spreading across Port Charles. Before we reveal the next shocking twist, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and share it with fellow General Hospital fans. Every clue matters in a mystery this explosive. And if you think you know where this story is heading, you may want to think again. Because the next discovery changed everything. According to early spoilers, Marco's estimated time of death may not match the timeline authorities originally established. That single discrepancy opened a floodgate of suspicion. If the timeline was wrong, then alibis could collapse overnight. Who benefited from the confusion? And who worked so hard to keep certain details buried? The trail led somewhere nobody expected. Several familiar faces suddenly found themselves under scrutiny. Friends who seemed supportive became nervous. Former rivals appeared unusually interested in the investigation. Every conversation carried hidden tension. Every glance seemed loaded with meaning. Was someone protecting a dangerous secret? The answer was hidden in a place no one thought to examine. Then came the first major bombshell. Sources suggest traces discovered during the autopsy pointed toward outside involvement. This wasn't the straightforward tragedy authorities originally assumed. Evidence hinted that Marco may have interacted with someone shortly before his death. Someone who was never mentioned in the official reports. But identifying that person proved nearly impossible. Investigators revisited surveillance footage. Security logs were checked again. Witness statements were re-examined line by line. Yet every new answer created two new questions. Why were key moments missing? Was this simple negligence or deliberate interference? Someone appeared determined to erase part of the story. And their efforts were becoming obvious. Meanwhile, rumors exploded throughout Port Charles. People started choosing sides before the facts were even confirmed. Accusations flew behind closed doors. Long-standing alliances began to crack. Even those completely unrelated to Marco suddenly felt threatened. Why were so many people acting afraid? The next revelation offered a chilling explanation. One witness reportedly remembered something crucial. At first, they dismissed it as insignificant. But after hearing about the autopsy findings, everything clicked into place. A strange encounter. An unusual conversation. A warning that made no sense at the time. Now it seemed connected to Marco's final hours. And it pointed directly toward danger. As investigators followed this new lead, they stumbled upon information that had never appeared in any official file. Someone had quietly removed records connected to Marco. The discovery raised an unsettling possibility. Was there a cover-up underway long before his death occurred? If so, who had enough power to make evidence disappear? The answer shocked everyone. The second twist arrived when hidden medical data reportedly surfaced. The information suggested Marco had been investigating something himself before he died. He wasn't simply caught in someone else's story. He may have been actively uncovering secrets. But what was he getting close to? And why did that knowledge make him so dangerous? That's when the mystery deepened dramatically. Suddenly, old conflicts took on new meaning. Arguments once considered personal now appeared connected to a much larger puzzle. People started revisiting events from weeks earlier. Small details became major clues. Every forgotten conversation mattered. Could Marco have uncovered a network of lies stretching across Port Charles? The evidence seemed to suggest exactly that. The pressure became unbearable for several key players. Nervous behavior attracted attention. Contradictory stories raised red flags. One individual reportedly changed their account multiple times in a single day. Why would an innocent person struggle to stay consistent? Investigators believed they were getting closer, but they had no idea what awaited them next. Late one evening, another confidential file surfaced unexpectedly. Unlike previous documents, this one contained information powerful enough to ruin lives. Names appeared. Connections emerged. Motives suddenly became clearer. Yet one detail stood out above all others. It directly contradicted everything people thought they knew about Marco himself. And that changed the entire investigation. What if Marco wasn't merely a victim? What if he had been carrying information capable of exposing multiple people at once? The possibility transformed every relationship around him. Trusted allies became potential suspects. Former enemies gained unexpected credibility. Nothing felt certain anymore. And the most dangerous secret was still waiting to be revealed. What if Marco wasn't merely a victim? What if he had been carrying information capable of exposing multiple people at once? The possibility transformed every relationship around him. Trusted allies became potential suspects. Former enemies gained unexpected credibility. Nothing felt certain anymore. And the most dangerous secret was still waiting to be revealed. A hidden message reportedly became the center of attention. Whether written, recorded, or otherwise preserved, it contained clues that could expose the truth. People raced to find it first. Some wanted justice. Others wanted silence. The stakes had never been higher. Because whoever controlled that message could control the future of Port Charles. A hidden message reportedly became the center of attention. Whether written, recorded, or otherwise preserved, it contained clues that could expose the truth. People raced to find it first. Some wanted justice. Others wanted silence. The stakes had never been higher. Because whoever controlled that message could control the future of Port Charles. The mind-blowing discovery reportedly connected Marco's death to a chain of events much larger than anyone anticipated. What began as a single tragedy now appeared tied to deception, manipulation, and carefully hidden motives. The autopsy didn't just explain how Marco died. It exposed why certain people were desperate to control the narrative. But the truth carried a devastating cost. Now Port Charles stands on the edge of chaos. The autopsy bombshell has shattered old assumptions and opened doors that can never be closed again. Alliances are crumbling. New suspects are emerging. And one critical question remains unanswered. If Marco's death was only the beginning, who will be the next person caught in the fallout? And are they already in danger?